I'll be like editing full screen porn and like I'm like zoning out like into editing, and there's like the kid going upstairs like, and they probably go like, what the motherfuck does this girl do? And like full blast and I'm there like, switch camera A, camera B, camera A, camera B.
Chemical X.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Chemical X podcast, where your favorite podcast is here every Monday. I'm Alessia.
I'm Veronica.
And
be careful about every Monday, because this girl, she's a bit erratic. Suddenly she starts posting on Sundays, and I'm like, whoa.
yeah, literally, are we a Sunday podcast now or a Monday one? Who knows?
We're Monday.
We're definitely Monday.
Because like I feel like on Sundays people are having such a good day. Like at least on Mondays it can only go up from there.
Well,
with us.
you know what? I think in the wintertime we should make the exception to release on Sundays because everyone's home. But in the summertime, nobody has fucking time to watch our podcast.
100%.
Like if you guys are watching during summer, like actually, like thank you.
No. People watch this during work hours. They're getting paid to watch this shit. Like,
that's true.
Don't catch me doing anything but partying when I'm not on the clock.
They're literally either in the car going to work or they're at work.
100%. Me in the back screen of their work desktop. Anyways, guys, if that's you, and even if it's not you, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, and give us 5 stars on Apple Music, and subscribe to us on Spotify. Oh my God, I'm rusty.
Yeah, yes, and yes. Do all of that. And I just want to tell you how single as fuck I am, okay? Before we get into anything.
Perfect.
I'm so single that I got my period twice this month.
Wait, what? Wait.
Nothing says you're single like getting your period 2 times in a month.
Oh, 100%. They're like, no, baby, you're really not pregnant.
Like, you're not pregnant. We're going to let you know you're not pregnant. Like, you are not having sex.
Wait, that's kind of scary, though. Are you one of those people? Because I'm one of these people.
I never, in my life, this has never happened to me before. This is the first time. You're like, well, go see your gynecologist.
Yeah, I don't know if I would be so happy promoting that just yet, ma'am. I would get that checked out. But are you one of those people, because I totally am, where like I could have not have sex for 8 months and my period's 1 day late and I'm like, oh, for sure I'm pregnant. And the whole universe is like, babe, you're literally not.
Well, no, I'm not like that. I feel like you're very like overthinker like that. Mm-hmm. But the only time I'll be like that if it's like 2 months. Because then I'm like, wait, did I have sex so early on that I still got my period that it's carrying on to the next month? That's the only time I'm like, shit, like I don't know.
100%.
But if I get it the second month, like I'm out, like I'm good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
8 months later, it's like, hey, well,
I'm not gonna lie, I watched that show where they go take a shit and a baby comes out. So you guys, I get my period and I still think I'm pregnant.
Why do we still end up on shit? Like, can everyone just have 1 week of no Dubai shit, no anything? By the way, to everyone who watched the Tanya episode and loved it, thank you so much. Like, that was such a good episode, and we will definitely have a part 2.
Mm-hmm. When she actually goes to Dubai and gets shits on.
Yeah, well, I mean,
shits on.
It's in the making, guys, so we'll let you know when she's back.
She'll have some more juicy stories to tell.
Well, I don't know if it's juicy or shitty.
Depends what he ate. Anyways, so I just came back from LA again. I know what you're thinking, because also Border Patrol is thinking it. Border Patrol is like, what are you doing in LA for 5 times?
How was LA? You went for work, and I feel like we don't talk about on this podcast your work very much. So let's dedicate this podcast to you being a porn director.
That's me, baby. Yeah, so I really don't think that sometimes we briefly talk about it, but let's just tell everybody if you don't know. So I work for a company called Bellesa, and they are a sex shop. Like, we have a sex boutique, but we also have a porn site, which is called Bellesa Plus, and you should check it out. So the whole idea about Bellesa is like ethical porn. It's directed by women, and it's really quality stuff, you know, if I say so myself.
Whenever someone's like, so what's the company Veronica works for? I'm like, oh, it's ethical porn. So like everything's done ethically. They're like, can I be completely honest with you? I'm like, yeah. They're like, when we're watching porn, I'm going to be honest. We don't care if it's ethical or not.
I mean, I just think there's so many.
No, it's amazing in so many ways. I think like if you're
No,
talking about like
100%.
that pig guy, like they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck.
And it shows because there's so many cases and so many things that happen that like, anyway, I don't want to talk about it because I'm not in the industry, but like,
Yeah.
I hear of so many lawsuits
Well-
and things that happen in adult porn
Right.
that
which
are
is-
like not right.
Exactly, which is why I'm making it clear that I do not work for a company that takes part in any of those things. And that's the reason that I work for this company at all, is because like it stands for such good values. And that's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to work for the company. And I was so excited about it because it was something that really aligned well with me, because I've always been like a really sex positive person, and, you know, supporting of everyone, and just like very like not promiscuous, but sex positive, I guess.
Yeah.
And so it was really exciting to have a job in that industry, but that's also not sketch and seedy and like fucked up.
Right.
Which it very often could be, you know?
Right.
I had initially started off working on the boutique side of the business. Actually, I was hired to do their YouTube. And then like quickly I kind of like.
So you were just
jumped
like
through.
editing porn at the beginning.
At the beginning, I wasn't editing porn. At the beginning, I was making only PG content. So I was clipping up interviews for YouTube and stuff like that, and
So
like content for
those-
social media.
So that's like right before they go to having sex.
Yeah.
Just so people can
Yeah,
understand more.
exactly.
So right before they're about to have sex, you do an interview of them both in 2 different rooms, and you interview them about what's gonna happen.
We just interview them about like, you know, why they chose to have sex with this person today, and whatever relationship they have with this person and stuff like that. And there's like a lot of like cute stories and crazy stories too. So we would clip
That's
those
cool.
up, put them on YouTube, and then our YouTube got deleted. And it's very scary when you have a social media job and your platform gets deleted.
We no longer need you.
No, it's very like, do I still have a job?
Yeah.
But thankfully, like at this point, I had, you know, started doing so many other things within the company. So it wasn't really a problem. And slowly, I started making my way over to the porn side of the business. I actually started editing the porn, which, I mean, I'm sure a couple of you who listen to the podcast know that. So I was actually like fully editing the videos that you would see on the porn site. And a lot of people are always curious when I tell them that, because they're like, what the fuck? Like, what is
Yeah.
it like? Like, are you getting turned on? Like, that's always everybody's first question to me is like, do you get turned on while you're editing?
Yeah.
Even if I did, you think I'm going to say what? Yeah, I do actually.
Okay,
You know what I
wait.
mean? Like, it's
Well-
very like, what?
Well, now we're on this podcast, so have you ever?
So at first, I think it was a little more like you get like sucked into the scene. But then again, also, it's
Like you're
not
supposed to edit and start from where you're at, but then suddenly you're 35 minutes in and you haven't edited. You're like just watching.
especially with the interviews, sometimes you actually like get into what they're saying.
Right.
But then again, like I will say like, okay, sometimes there's like hot moments and you're like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like spicy, you start watching it. But then I'm also editing. So it's not the
It's no longer
same.
sexy anymore when you're editing all day.
That's what I'm saying. But it's also not that you're not in the same mindset of like, I'm opening my computer to watch porn. Like I dragged in all the clips. I put them all together. Like,
Yeah.
it's not the same.
It's the same thing when I feel like I'm editing a
Yeah.
podcast. I'm like, I don't even know. I'm so like, I don't even know if the episode is funny anymore because I'm so
into it.
into it that I'm like, I hope this episode is
Yeah.
good because I went over it 35 times.
100%.
So
I mean, definitely in the beginning, I was more like new to it and it was still like cool and exciting. And there were scenes that were better than others. And I was like, ooh, this was a really hot scene. But over time, I'm just like so used to it. And
Yeah.
I don't like, obviously, I'm not
it's not like,
immune.
ooh, that's a dick.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not immune, but it's not, there's like no, I'm very used to it by now, you know?
yeah.
But
wait,
there is
I have a
times
question
where I
for you.
catch myself like watching a scene and I'm like doing all these times that I'm like, oh my God, like I hope nobody watched me doing that. Like I'm embarrassed. And also like there's somebody who, so my office is like in the back room, which is attached to the stairs to get up to like the apartments. And the people upstairs always have to cross my office.
This
to
is
get
in your
upstairs.
house.
Yeah. And I'll be like editing full screen porn and like I'm like zoning out like into editing and there's like the kid going upstairs like and they probably go like, what the motherfuck does this girl do? And like full blast and I'm there like switch camera A, camera B, camera A, camera B.
No,
But it's just a funny scene. Like I'm pajamas, messy bun, makeup from yesterday, and I'm there
Right.
going. And there's a fucking
literally
spread
that-
asshole on my seat.
You're literally that perv. Like,
no, they must think like, hey, this girl's like, she's a fucking perv.
Yeah.
And I'm also thinking like, do they think it's me having sex?
For sure.
100%. But babe.
But honestly, I think they've seen 360 go on in this apartment. I think you're good.
They've seen
it
they're
all.
not
If
worried.
they think you're
when
having,
they hear sex, they
I was just gonna
I'm
say
safe.
that. Oh my God, they're getting along. Okay, we should have 2 days of quiet chat. It's gonna be good. We're gonna be okay. There's gonna be no smashing plates today.
okay, you're safe. You could go downstairs. You're good. You're good. It's safe. That's probably the only time that they know it's the safe time to pass up and down. That's why they're passing so
Holy
often.
shit.
Okay, they're fucking go. Bring up the groceries now. So anyways, to continue my journey onto the company. So I started editing the porn, and that was really cool. A lot of people were curious about that. And a while back when I had went to LA the first time, all of our scenes are shot in LA. So I was like, hey, look, like I'm going to be in LA. I'd be really curious to jump on set. Jump on set. That really made it sound like I jumped in the scene. I said,
jump on set.
Jump on set how?
Veronica, what are you telling your friends? What are you telling your friends you're doing here? Because I know you were just saying that you're kind of moving up in the company, but you didn't really
You didn't say moving in.
specify. You didn't specify what was your role at this this job.
So I had mentioned that I wanted to like get a part of being on set. Okay, I can't explain this properly. I wanted to just be on set.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes.
You wanted to see what it was like to
Yeah.
be behind the scenes.
Because I've always been like that. I've always been somebody like all of my jobs were really involved more on like the creative creation actually,
Yeah.
and less so on post-production. I've always been more like pre-production and actual
well, it
production.
makes sense. Even your other jobs were like
Yeah.
on set.
I did a lot of set styling, a lot of art direction, creative direction. So I'm really used to being in the production side of the business. So I wanted to just like discover it a little more, and it also helps me edit better. So anyways, so I wanted to go on set. I had a good time. I met the director there. I met everybody. It was really, really cool. And I spoke briefly about this last time, but it was really, I wasn't sure what to expect going on like a real life porn set, because I realized never in my life did I actually just watch two people have sex.
Right.
Which probably no one really did, like unless you're having a threesome or something. But
Right.
you're never in a moment where you're fully clothed watching another. Do you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
of course.
It's such a odd thing
Yeah.
to wrap your head around.
Yeah.
And I feel like people are always curious about like, you know, you always think like,
And
who's
did
in the room during these porn scenes? Like, how many people are there?
How many people were there?
So during the scenes, if there's two cameras, there's two cameramen, there's the director, there was me. So we were 4 people in that room at that time. I guess in some productions, there might be more, there might be less. It depends. You know, like sometimes you have a mic, there's another third person.
And who were, when you were on set, who were the 2 people? Who were the 2 porn stars?
There was multiple. So there was like we shot like a bunch of scenes when
Okay.
I was there. So there was like a couple of people for
Okay.
sure. But it was really crazy. And there was one scene where I will say, guys, every dick is bigger in real life. I will say.
Well,
Because I've seen
hold
every
on
porn
a
star.
second. Then why is there the saying that a camera adds 10 pounds?
Well, I don't know. It also ticks off 2 inches because
Holy.
I've seen every porn star. I've seen all their dicks. Okay. I've edited them, close-ups. I've seen everything. Real life was a different story.
Wow.
Like there's some porn stars who are known for their bazookas.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say for their bazookas. And real life, I was like,
They're huge.
and I remember at one point she was like, how were you comfortable during the scene? Like I saw you were making faces at a point, and I was like, no, I was making faces because I was in severe pain for the girl getting fucked.
No.
Like I couldn't stop. I was like,
And was she in pain? Like, how was that?
I mean, she looked like she was enjoying herself. I'm not gonna lie, but I was like,
All part of the set.
I was like, this is. I was like, I don't think that's enjoyable.
So the
But
thing
it was-
about having sex with somebody with a really big dick, it like fucking hurts.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wonder how enjoyable it could be for a guy with a really big dick. Because I've heard so many stories about guys saying that they could never fully get pleased like they want.
Yeah.
When your dick is huge. Because like at a point, like you hit a wall with us, like, are you getting
the wall
the
is my
max?
fucking stomach.
Literally. But it's like, I don't
No,
know.
it's-
I feel like I don't do my best work with like a blowjob when it's a really fucking big dick. Like I literally can't.
No,
And
absolutely not.
also like I don't feel like I'm like as fun in bed because I'm actually like in pain.
Also, can I say something
What?
to the men out there? If every girl can deep throat you, it's not because you're just getting really skilled girls. I'll just leave that there. Feels great when you could do it though. You're like, wait, I could do this all of a sudden.
Absolutely.
But 100% a blowjob on a
I always feel
bazooka?
really confident about my blowjobs when it's like, it's a dick I could handle. But when it's thick and then it's also super long, it's like, listen, like there's only so much. Like, fuck.
You're going.
I'm like, listen, the hands are gonna be used a lot more than you think, sir.
There's no hands. That shit's not happening here, baby.
Holy.
I need all the help I could get. But yeah, so anyway, so that was one thing that I was like really shocked because you think, I mean, and I totally get what people say when they meet us in real life, or people will be like, oh, you're so much prettier in real life, or whatever the compliment may be. And I'm always like, oh, really? And then I just met all these porn stars in real life and I was like, wow, like,
Your dicks are bigger.
your dick's so big. But also like everyone, I was just like, oh, you're like better looking in real life. Like your personality just shows. There was just so many performers that I met who I've watched so much because I've been editing them, and meeting them in real life. I was like, oh wow, like no matter how much I've seen you and seen literally every inch of your body.
Yeah.
Like meeting you in real life, I was like, wow, I got a different view on them, you know? So that was really exciting.
She got a different view.
a different angle.
I'm sure being on set, you got a different view.
POV.
You got the straight up live view. I'm sure. Their personalities, they were nice.
They showed
Veronica.
through.
They showed through.
They were super friendly. So
Good.
So yeah, so I ended up on set. Anyway, so fast forward all of that. I really enjoyed my time while I was on set.
Wait, you just said you ended up on set. Just clarify, please.
Just, taking behind the scenes.
Got it.
Everything's making it sound like I'm a part.
No.
So I really had fun, and like I said, I've always been used to being on set. I'm a guy.
No. Every time you say on set, I'm dying.
So when I came back, I just had so many ideas and so many things that I wanted to instill, whether it was set design or anything like that. I was just like buzzing with ideas.
Yeah.
And I came up with a series, and I had like just randomly one day it came to me, and I pitched it to like very nonchalantly. Like we have like a brainstorm chat where you just pitch your ideas in. Some go through, some nothing happens with, right? And I always send my ideas in. And this one day I sent in my idea, and my boss was like, I love it. Let's do it. Like right away. And I was like, oh shit. Like, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Like I didn't put this into play.
Before we even get into that, I think it's amazing that you work for a company that's like amazing. Let's do it. And I think the reason you're shocked is because there's so many companies you can work for that they're like amazing, like, but we don't have the funds or but we don't have this. There's always like something. So it's like when you actually work for a company that they're like amazing, let's do it, and your vision could come to life. I feel like who doesn't want to work for a company who literally just understands that and wants you to grow? Like, I think it's
100%.
amazing. So,
and also I will say it's funny how everything in your life puts you up to a moment, because I don't think that I think over time my ideas have become more successful and more likely to be used because I have a better understanding of what's doable, what's not doable.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like when you're young and unexperienced, you have these crazy ideas, but a lot of the time they take so much budget, they take all these things that might not be possible.
it's so
and,
true.
And the more you get experienced, which I think is the craziest thing about experience, is it changes the way you think. So although it would be crazy to do this fucking crazy swings in the air thing,
Yeah.
you know it's actually not possible. And then the way you start thinking about your ideas is, okay, what is possible? And then that's where you get good ideas that are actually doable.
So fucking true.
So like I didn't pitch anything that was so over the top. It was just something that was doable, was a good idea. And
can we talk about it?
I think not, because it's not released yet. So I don't want to ruin like that.
Okay.
Because it hasn't been done before.
Okay.
Now it's like, wait, what's the idea?
Can you give people a hint?
It's going to ruin the surprise.
Yeah.
So everybody will figure out the idea.
When Veronica launches the idea and it comes to life, then we'll talk about it.
100%. But I will say, like, it was just a little bit out of the box, but still really cool. They went for the idea, and I was super excited because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And then my boss was like, well, obviously we're going to send you down and you're going to see it through. You're going to direct it. Like, it's your idea, right? So that was crazy.
That's a moment of like, what the fuck? Everything I wrote down, because I think there's even companies where you'll write down everything, you'll be the master behind the whole project, but then you're not even there, so
then
it's
you're
like
shipping it off,
you're
you know?
shipping it off. So like the fact that you were actually there to see out the whole project is insane.
It was just so amazing, and it was really crazy for me at the time because and when I found out about this, I had spoke about it on the podcast, but I didn't say what it was. But it's just crazy how 1 minute you could be doing one thing. Like 1 minute I was the editor, and the next minute it was like I was in charge of putting this whole new series into production. And that was just crazy how fast and how your dreams could be just on the other side of like whatever you say, you never know where it'll go. And that was really exciting for
and
me.
now you're directing porn. Here we
Fucking
go.
crazy. So I spent like a couple of months putting together this project, and I was so lucky to be working with the director we usually work with, Jackie St. James. She's like amazing, and she's so talented, and she was really excited to like help me out with this and let me do it, which was so cool because I think working with all these people that are really giving me the ability to do my best is amazing, because when you have all these people doubting you, it's kind of hard to do your best.
Yeah.
And when everybody just believes in you, it's such a more comfortable zone to be in, you know? So I went down to LA and I directed 4 scenes so far. And it was first of all the scariest
you
thing
love
I ever did
it?
in my life. I loved it, yeah.
Okay.
I definitely loved it. It was the scariest thing I ever did in my life because when you're doing something like this, that's to a certain extent, it can go so many ways.
Especially because it's new and it's never been done.
Yeah, it's never been done. I had nothing. It was very technical. There was a lot of technical difficulties. And also when it's performers who to a certain extent can do what they want. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a scripted acting scene. So you also have to factor in that what you want may not happen.
Right.
And that was the scariest thing for me because I'm so used to working on photo shoots with products, with models that I can control and direct and tell them exactly what I want. And in this case, I had to just make it so that I'm going to make it so that the outcome that I want is highly likely, but it's not 100%.
Right.
So that was the scariest thing for me because I was like, I actually don't have full control over this situation. And I was really, really nervous going into it, but I was just kind of like, one thing that helped me like think about and something that might help you with like a big project, if anybody's doing a big project, was like, if you think about it, and somebody had told me this, they were like, have you ever failed before? And I was like, well, not really. Like everything I've ever stressed about, like it's gone well. And they were like, well, just keep thinking about how you haven't ever let anyone down before and just ride with that because you'll probably not let them down this time, you know?
Facts.
And they were like, if these people are so, if they believe in you so much and they're sending you out there to do it and they took your idea, obviously they have a lot of faith in you. And if you don't have faith in yourself, at least have the faith that they have in you. You know what I mean? It's like, she was like, it's not for no reason that they believe in you. So maybe you don't see something in yourself and you don't think you can do it. But if somebody else does, and if all these people do believe you can do it, then you probably can.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting. And it kind of like changed my mindset on it. And I was like, okay, well, you know.
I think whenever you do something new, you're always going to doubt yourself because you've never done it before. But I think the second you do it and the more you get comfortable, the more you're like, I fucking got this. Like 100%. In a week, in like a month, you're going to be like, I can't believe I even ever stressed about this. Like I fucking got this. And then till the next thing comes. 100%. So.
And a lot of it was, I was so scared because it was such a big opportunity. And I was so afraid to fuck it up and then I would never get another opportunity again. But thankfully, I work for a company that's just like so chill. And I kind of knew that even if it would go horribly wrong,
right,
it was like understandable. Like I don't work for people that are like, better go right or else, you know? So that was okay too. And honestly, guys, not every scene went well. I did have a scene that there was a lot of difficulties in the scene. A lot of things went wrong. And the craziest part was I wasn't that upset about it. And I wasn't like so worried about it because I was like, you know what? We'll fix it. There's a way around it.
3 for 4.
You know what I mean? Like I was just like, you know what? 3 scenes went super well. It's fine.
Yeah.
So I think we hype ourselves up so much about, oh my God, what could go wrong? What could this? And when it actually happens, you're like, okay, well, I could deal with this. Yeah. You know? So anyway, so I fucking directed these scenes and it was so crazy because
wild.
It was just the weirdest thing to like walk into a room and be like, oh, hi, I'm the director today.
Yeah.
Like people were like, what? Like,
hi, I'm Veronica. I'm 25 and I'm the director. That's wild.
It was wild. And a lot of people, because I'm like, obviously every industry is small per se. So I think when they saw me walking in, they're like, who the fuck is this bitch? Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean you're the director? You know what I mean? Like everybody was very
And I feel like they're
confused and
normally
curious.
older, right?
I would say, yeah, because a lot of the people in the industry have just been in the industry so long. So I guess I don't know about it that much. I don't know if there's other like young porn directors, but judging by the way people were reacting, they were just like, who, like multiple people thought I was a performer. Actually.
Yeah. So I have questions. So now you're on scene, you're there, the script everything starts. Do you ever, while they're in the middle of like sucking dick, are you like, stop?
Well,
like how many times were you like, stop? What are the points of where you stopped the porn?
I mean, in this series, it was directed a little bit differently, so it wasn't per se like that.
Okay.
So I wasn't really doing it in that sense of like stopping them and like, okay, switch positions and stuff like that.
But were you angling cameras differently? Were you doing things differently? Because now you've edited. You know what you didn't like and how you would want the camera to be, how you'd want the setup to be. So did you make sure to like change that around when you were editing, when you were on set?
I will say yes, and the biggest thing that I did do was the set. So for me, like I've always been very picky. I've always, like I said, I was a set stylist.
Look at our set.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was really excited to build my own set while I was there. And it was in this huge house. And I just started going in every room, picking up anything that I could that I was like, I'm going to make this set look exactly how I wanted.
Yeah.
With whatever I can find. And I was really excited because it came out really pretty. And one of the people that were there, like the videographer, he was like, I've shot in this house for like years and years and years and done so much content here. And he's like, this room has never looked this good. And I was like, thank you.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah. I was like really happy. I was like, phew, at least I could. Because
you're like, if everything feels loose, I did a great set.
100%. And I think that's another lesson to learn is like sometimes you just have to do. I felt like, okay, let me just at least do really good at the set because that's what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
And then I'll go, whatever happens with the directing, what will happen. But I felt like I just needed to put that touch of like, I feel confident in my set design. I feel confident in like putting something together visually. So I felt like I really needed to sell that just in case,
But I mean, when something's already visually appealing, you're like 55% there.
100%.
So like, it's hard to fail after you have a sick set.
100%.
Okay, I have so many questions. So this house that you're in, it's a house that every person in LA who's shooting porn goes to, like Pornhub, all these places go there.
A lot of companies shoot in this house, yeah. So it's like
So you're grabbing things and it's dirty.
Nothing these hands haven't touched before. Okay. I work in a club, babe. Probably
true. You were on set, right?
Things.
You were on set, right?
Yeah, you were the set, right? You were the couch. So it was just really cool, and it was a really crazy environment to be with.
So what kind of sets are there? Like, is there? Because I know when you look at porn, there's like sets of like massage rooms.
Oh, yeah. There's everything.
Is there everything in this house?
Well, first of all, it's like a real house. So there's like a lot of bedrooms, but then there's also like, I remember the first time I went in, the first time I was there, I was like, oh, like a massage room. Like, that's crazy. And because I'm so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
I didn't put two and two together. Like, oh, that's a porn set.
No, I'm
like, wow, so crazy. They have a massage.
Like, wow, the benefits working here are amazing.
I know. I was like, wow, so crazy. They have a massage bed. And she's like, yeah, for a porn set. I was like, oh, right. Right. Totally right. And there's like a lot of there's like a little bar area, there's like a little workout area. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep my eyes open for these on Pornhub. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna start to find the similarities.
Right.
But yeah, no. So back to on set, I had my performers come. I introduced myself. Everybody was really excited to be working with me, so that was like a big confidence boost. And after the scenes, everybody really enjoyed themselves and was so excited and really wanted to get involved with me. They were like, come in the picture, like tell me, like they were just so excited about the idea and excited about working with me. And that was such a confidence boost because I was like, I feel like sometimes in an industry, depending what industry you're in, people don't ever take you seriously, and it's so hard to like convince people that you're good.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, like, and the people that I've worked with in the porn industry, they've just been like so nice and friendly and like just so nice. Everybody just made me feel really good and really talented. And I was like, wow, guys, what do you mean you liked my series?
Oh my God. So now if this goes through and everything works out, is the plan LA?
Well, hopefully, yeah. Hopefully I'll get to direct more, and that's what I would like to do.
That's
and I really
literally crazy. See, manifesting and you're bored just because it doesn't happen overnight.
It's just funny how my life has like connected. You know, I've always like looked up to companies like Playboy and like sex companies like that. And to find myself something that I never, like I obviously wasn't a kid going, can't wait to be a porn director one day. But the way it's fallen through, I've just been like, wow, this fucking makes sense. Like,
you know what? It's so weird because I always feel like it made sense for you, but now that you're saying Playboy and all this, like it really makes sense.
It's just so funny to connect the dots in a way. And that's what I like manifesting wise. Sometimes even
if you don't know what you're manifesting,
but it's not even that. It's just sometimes you think you're manifesting something and then whatever it is happens, but in a different way. And then you're like, wait, this is actually the thing that I've been wanting. It's just not maybe exactly how I said I wanted it.
Yeah.
But this is like perfect. Like, this is amazing. This is better than what I could have asked for, you know?
Right.
So I just thought that was crazy. And looking back, I'm like, wow, you know, I've never been like, oh, this is what I want to do. But when I think of everything that I've loved, everything that I've wanted to be a part of, the glitz, the glam, the sex, all these things, I'm like, this makes sense.
It makes so much
sense. And Mom, I'm a porn director. So, and the funniest thing.
And your dad, what are you telling your dad?
My dad does not know.
He still thinks you're what? You're doing.
I actually don't know what he thinks, but we're not gonna ask any questions.
It's just so nice to see you finally super happy in a job because I know how miserable you were at your last job, and
hope you're not listening.
He probably is.
Probably is.
I even put a he in there. It's just crazy how, like, you could be at such a state in your life where you like lose focus. You're like so confused. You're like, I don't even know what I want to do for the rest of my life. And then things just fall into place. And I think that's what I want to like stress is like, don't put too much stress on yourself of like, I need to find out exactly what it is I need to do and I need to be exactly this. And because I feel like I talked to so many of my friends and I was talking to one of my friends the other day. She's like, I just don't know what I want to do with my life. And I'm like, when we put that stress on ourselves, like it just makes things so much harder and you're just so much further from your goals, you know?
100%.
I think the most important thing is just to like be working on something that you like and then hope that it'll just kind of all work out for you, you know? Like for me, it's like I haven't got to your stage where I'm like super, super happy with what I want to do to be making money like work-wise in that industry. But like I know I have so many other things I'm working on right now that make it like less depressing.
Yeah.
Does
Which
that
is
make
important.
sense?
No,
Yeah.
100%.
Because it's like no matter what job I will get and no matter how happy I'll be, I'll never be happy if when I clock out, I'm not looking forward to something like popping off or like something working out for me. So, yeah.
100%. And it's so true. And I think also another thing that's really helped me is just being like having initiative and like not being afraid to share my ideas and not being afraid to do more. And, you know, like all my friends have always like not bashed me, but like everybody's always like, oh, you're doing too much. Like stop doing. For every company I've always worked for, I've always been like doing all these extra things. And I think in the long run, that's actually what's gotten me here is the fact that I don't just do my job. I try to do everybody's job. And then that way I actually get the job that I want, you know?
Yeah.
So I think in that sense, like it's kind of helped me. And just to bring it back on set, like just meeting all the porn stars and meeting everyone and actually being somebody that they like are speaking to and like I'm directing them. It was just a really cool thing. And also something that was really cool was at one point, like the owner of the house came in. So it's basically summer now, like I would say.
Why? Because my tits are out, Veronica. My tits are out even in the winter.
Yeah, this one's not for you, but it is for all the guys who suddenly pop their ballinis out. And let me tell you, if they're not shaved, we've got a problem. But we've also got a solution. And that solution is our friends Manscaped. You can check them out, guys. They have pretty much every product that you need to be feeling fresh, smelling fresh, and also feeling smooth in that ball area. They've got the Lawnmower 4.0 so you can shave up those balls, ball deodorant, ball toner, just anything that you didn't know your balls needed. And trust me, they need.
And because we want you to be so clean this summer, we're giving you guys a promo code ChemicalX at checkout to receive 20% off those balls down there and also free shipping. So ChemicalX at checkout for 20% off and free shipping.
And if you're looking for a nice, tight, perfectly fitting suit for you,
then you're not going to find it at the stores because a perfect suit is only when it's tailor-made to you.
100%. Where are you going to go? You're going to go to izoti.com, put in all your measurements and get yourself a beautifully tailored to you suit. And the best part about it is that it's Italian made, and who doesn't love anything that's Italian
And the
made?
second best thing is that we're also giving you guys a discount code. So Chemical X at checkout for 20% off.
Like me and Jackie sitting next to each other, and she's like, wow, you guys look like a bunch of like woman boss CEOs. And I was like, isn't it funny that we're the two girls here directing, calling the shots, and like it's like the film crew and like all of them are like all guys. And I was just like, wow, this is just a funny, I would have never imagined, like if I would have think of a porn set, I would never imagine the girls behind are the, the
I
people
would
behind
think
are
it'd be
girls.
really like men behind it all, for sure.
It just felt really cool and really like powerful to be like in a position where I was like, oh, I feel like I'm in a position of power, and that I could just do what I want to do and put my vision through, you know?
And
so
you're
really
in LA.
exciting.
Like, that's so wild. And did you like meet anyone, like any porn stars, anyone that like you kept in contact with? The like, because I feel like it's all related after connection wise, like podcast wise. Maybe we'll get a porn star on our
well,
episode.
Definitely. And I think what I love about porn stars and what I love about anyone in general who does something unapologetically and is able to literally get naked, but you know, some people just get naked in the way they are as a person. I think that's so like cool to be around people who are just themselves and like are not shy and are just like, this is me. And I've always loved that about, you know, anybody who's in that field of work is just how confident you have to be there, you know? And that's why it was exciting meeting them and just everybody just being so friendly and being really excited. And they all want to stay in contact with me, so that's really fun. And also like it was just really funny, like there was circumstances, I will say, I have to flex. One of the performers came on set and he thought it was a threesome with me. And I was like, no, I'm just the director.
No, I'm actually the one taking charge of this whole thing you're doing.
Actually, sit down, bitch.
Yeah. And that's how the threesome started.
And I have had a few people be like, well, what does your boyfriend think? And I was like, what the hell? Like, but then I was like, I mean, I guess like, maybe some people wouldn't feel comfortable with their girlfriend. But then I'm also like, what do you think's going on? You think I'm jerking them off mid-scene? Like, you know?
You're just telling them, sit down.
Yeah. Suck it harder.
Stop, cut. We're going to have to cut this scene. Yeah. Somebody get a banana. Let's show them how to give a good blowjob.
Like, I just think like with everything, it's a job.
Yeah.
You know, and even like porn, like at the end of the day, like porn is a job, you know, even the porn stars, it's their job. You know?
I feel like I know this question because like I asked you this before, but like I feel like a lot of people would be wondering because I feel like, let's say when you're a gynecologist, you know, and let's say a guy gynecologist, they're like, oh, well, you're looking at vaginas all day. So how is it when you go home and you fuck your wife? Like, is it the same thing? Like, do you get turned on? So how is it editing porn and then having sex? Like, has it changed anything?
Sex, no, but watching porn, yes.
I can't imagine.
Because, and I
it doesn't look
porn.
real to you, so it's harder to get.
It's not even, doesn't look real, but first of all, when I'm in a relationship, I rarely watch porn.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, what the fuck? Especially when you live with somebody, so when the fuck you have time to open your computer? But like on the rare times I have, I'm scrolling through and I'm seeing our performers and I'm like, I actually can't. Like, it's just like, I recognize you. You know what I mean? And it's such an odd thing to like recognize somebody and then you're like, oh, you're acting. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. And then you just start picking, like, I have to stop myself from going into that like director or like editor where I'm like, how many cameras did they use? And I'm like,
it's crazy because I can't imagine because sometimes I'll watch porn and I'll be like, that's too scripted. I have to change because now my mind went there. So I can't imagine like if you're editing it, how much more you're seeing that you're just like, I can't do this.
100%. And also the funniest thing is because it's my job, I've stopped like putting, like in the past, if I watched porn, I would always put it in like incognito mode. But now like every day I'm porn site. Like if you type P into my like my search bar, boom, you're getting every site on the block. Research, baby. It's research.
I literally can't imagine.
Yeah. But just to wrap this whole thing up.
history.
No, literally. But just to wrap this whole thing up, I'm a porn director, I guess.
Guys, Can we give Veronica a round of applause? Like,
It's funny. It's such a fitting job. I never knew, but
it's insane.
also my mom calls me.
So the title of a porn director, eventually would you be even, like, would you just be telling people what to do? Or would you still always be hands-on, like setting up everything?
I don't know. Probably always hands-on.
Okay.
That's what the director does. Depends how big the
Right.
production
No,
is.
but I feel like there's some directors who just tell everyone what to do at a point, no? Like you just
Yeah.
become like the eyes and just
Yeah.
oversee everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll get there too, I'm sure.
I'm gonna be
But
the
then you'll
porn
probably be so
mummy.
anal about it that you're still going to want to be on set.
But you know what is funny though? When I was on set and being the visual person that I am, I was finding myself like, oh, she should move her leg. Oh, can they fuck in a different position? And then I'm like, oh my God, I'm one of those seedy men saying next, next, next. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I need to take a step back. Let them have some fun. Who am I here? The fucking bitch? Like, one of the girls was like, oh, like I want to wear, because they were like showing me their outfits of what to wear. And like I picked an outfit for her and she was like, oh, I don't really feel comfortable in this. And I was like, well, it matches the other girl's outfit. So like, and then I left the room and I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad that I did not let that girl wear what she wanted. And I went back and I was like, yeah, she changed so you could wear that actually.
No.
I was like, who am I, babe? Who do I think I am? Calling the shots, babe. Wear what you want.
I mean, listen, you're a director.
I mean,
you
if
can
it's
do
gotta
what you
match, gotta
want.
match. Crazy. But I will
Crazy.
say, my mom called me because the only person who knew that I was doing this was my mom. Shout out, mommy. And she called me and she's like, okay, me and Mario, my stepdad, decided that we're gonna watch your movie when it comes out. So just let me know when it's out. And I'm like,
No,
I'll
no,
send you the link.
no. No, no, no.
That's a supportive mom right there.
I'm
And I'm like,
yelling.
Send the link. Don't tell me when you want. I don't want to know anything after that. Just say good job and that's it.
Your mom's like, me and Mario are going to watch it. Oh, we're going to
She's
watch
like,
it.
and one of
all
those
right."
toys you have, ship those on over too.
That's so wild. Well, also send it to me. I want to watch too. I want to
Okay.
see.
Well, we're gonna have a viewing party. All my friends, we're all here. I'm the only one that's gonna be dry as
just
a
since you're really
fucking-
good at sets, just make sure at the viewing party that everyone has like a bed.
a cubicle. It's gonna be like at
We
those
get
sex
out of the cubicle.
theaters.
Yeah, it was nice.
Everybody hand in your dildos. It's like the phones, you know.
That's so funny. Well, I'm super happy for you. This
Thank
is
you.
fucking amazing. I literally can't wait to see where this goes. I feel like it's aligned with everything you're doing. It's aligned with the podcast because now we're going to get porn stars on here. So it's going to be
100%.
great. When I got back from LA, so this is like about 3 weeks ago, almost 4 weeks ago, when I was there and I was like kind of talking with a lot of people, I was really like my whole vibe changed. I was like, when I get back from LA, I don't want to be that girl who gets back home, is like trying to figure out her life, but then is still going out and is in the scene. And I really just had like a completely, even when I was in LA, I was, as fun as I was having, I was like, I can't wait to get back because I'm going to change so much about what I've been doing recently.
Was it because of LA or just like whatever?
I think it has to do with like, I've done the partying. Like I've done the, like I broke up with my boyfriend. We broke up. I literally went on trips. I had fun. I did it all. Like I literally feel like I really took that time to like explore. And now I'm really at a stage where like I don't want a man, which is crazy because I'm always like, I feel like when I got out of my relationship, I was like running to like what's next and who else is out there. And you know what? I don't take anything back from that because it's like I needed to do it to get it out of my system. But now it's like I could not be more single and happier. And I just feel like I'm not going to be happy being in a relationship until I really get to where I want to get to. And it's really a nice and like relieving feeling. And I'm just done like being out in the scene. I'm done not focusing on my goals because I know that I know that I'm very goal driven and I know that I always get things done, but I don't want to be stressed about doing them anymore. I don't want to prioritize the wrong things first because it's like I'm really at that point in my life now where I just want to get my stuff done. And I don't care to be at the club I've been going to for the last 5 years that I know exactly who's going to be there. I know exactly how it's going to go down. And, you know, it's really a trap. And I realize that. Like, I'm really at that stage in my life, which is so crazy because I'm such I'm not really an introvert. Like, I love being out. I'm a social butterfly. So I really love and enjoy being out. That now that I've really spent these last 3 weeks, like, I can't even remember, even when I used to say, like, I'm going to stay in, I'm not going to do anything, I would get persuaded all the time to go to dinners, and then dinners, well, don't go home, like, let's go out. And it's just a toxic, vicious, like, cycle. And I feel like I finally got to the stage now where I'm like, I'm saying no. Like, I'm staying in. I'm happy being in Saturday. I'm happy being in Sunday. Like, if I'm not working, like, on my job, like, I'm working on my shit. Like, I don't have the time to do the same things I was always doing, because if I keep doing the same things I'm doing, I'm never going to get out of the cycle I want to get out of. So it's all clear to me. And it's just, I can't tell you, the first 2 weeks was the hardest ever, because it's like, you'll always be tested. Your friends will always message you like, let's go out, let's do this. And saying no, it only gets easier, I would say, after the 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks are the fucking hardest, especially when you're trying to change like your whole routine.
Also, when you're known as the person who always goes,
It's
even
always
harder.
Yeah,
you know? Like, because everybody's like, okay, just come. Like,
yeah,
it's very difficult.
Exactly. And when I was jobless, it was so easy to be like, yes, 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 I'll come. And I was worried that like now I'm gonna start at a full-time job, and after I'm not gonna want to be working on my stuff when I'm not working at the job. But it's crazy how even if it's not the exact job I want right now, it's motivating me to do all my other shit. And now like I have to really plan. Like, my Saturdays and Sundays are like my actual holy grail. Like, I need them. So everything is just more planned. Like, I don't have the time to be doing the things that I did in the past. So it's just like, I'm so happy about it.
But that's a really good way to get yourself. Like, I know I was talking to a friend recently, and he was like,
because when you're doing nothing, you don't want to do anything. But when you're doing things, it just makes you want to do everything.
Exactly. And when you only have a certain amount of time to get something done, you're way less likely to procrastinate.
Exactly.
And the busier I am, the more I actually get done, because
the more you're scheduled.
I don't have time to not do it, you know? And that's what I'm saying. I was speaking to a friend recently, and he was like, oh, I'm thinking about quitting my job so I can focus more on like my side projects. And I was like, well, you only do your job 3-4 days a week. You actually have all the time you need to do this. You're just not prioritizing. I promise you quit that job, you're doing actually less, because you have all the time in the world to get it done. So you're just going to keep pushing it, and you're not actually going to prioritize. And I've always worked better under pressure.
Yeah,
and I
me
think
too.
Most people do when you have something else you have to put energy to. You're just putting yourself in that time limit, and you have to get it done, you know? And that's what it is. And that's like a great thing to like have the right priorities too, because if you're working your full-time job and then your priority is going out, then you're actually not going to have time to do what you
like
want to do.
Just a couple months ago, my priority was like, well, I'm not working right now. And this made sense at the time. I'm not working right now. I guess this is the time I should be traveling, because it's harder when you have a job to be just like leaving. So it's like, I did that, right? Now that I'm like working, I'm even like, why am I going to go out and do the same thing I've always done here? If I'm going to invest my time to like not be working, it's going to be when I'm out of town. It's not going to be to do what I've done here. I don't care if there's a new terrace that opened up that I haven't been to. Like, I've seen the scene here. I know what's here. And that's why I'm only coming out when it's Grand Prix weekend.
Well, I 100% agree, because I've been in that vibe for a while. And working
it's because I was fluctuating. Like, I was in it and I was out, and I was still getting all my stuff done, but it wasn't allowing me to fully capitalize on everything I could do. And it's like, everything really is possible, whether you have a full-time job or not. It's really just how you schedule your time. And the more you start just scheduling your time to be like, I have to do this, 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 and you have your whole notes, it's like, it's easier to say no to friends after, because you've set goals for yourself. And like, I'm really at the state now where it's like, it's almost like a month I'm not going out, I'm not doing it. It's sunny, you know, you see people on a terrace, and you're in that zone where you're like, I'm 26 now. By 30, I really want to be where I want to be. So it's like, if you keep doing the dinners, you keep doing the clubs, you're not getting there. You're just
not. And the
not.
reality is, and people like don't always see this, is going out, it might not just be, okay, yeah, I'm not going to be working from 11 p.m. till 3 a.m. Yeah, I'm probably not. But the reality is, going out takes so much more from you. Drinking every weekend.
That's another thing I want to talk about.
As much as you think, oh, hungover,
drinking,
I'm chilling.
Your Sunday is fucked up. I don't care what you say. it's fucked up. And like, it's not even about the night. Oh, I'm just going to go for a drink. Like,
Yeah.
so I was like, I haven't been out, and my friends were like, I haven't seen them in a while. And they were like, we're going to do a restaurant. We're going to go eat dinner. And I was like, okay, I'm going to come for the dinner. But then after dinner, like, I'm going to go home, you know? So I'm just going to do the dinner. And then my friend was like, oh, well, I think that's what I'm going to do also. So we'll just go together. So we get to the dinner, we're having fun. And it's like, even at that, it's so fucked up. But I'm feeling remorse for going out. Like I'm not in, like, I'm enjoying myself, but I'm mad at myself because I feel like I went against everything I've spent the 3 weeks doing. So I was like mad at myself for going out, and that's fucked up too. But like,
Yeah, like,
just to tell you like where I'm at now, it's like, I'm mad at myself that I went out on a Saturday, and then like, I was so mad at myself that I went out on Saturday that even when I got home and it was late on Sunday, and see, like, that's what happened. It's like, you're out and then you're supposed to go home, and then I didn't end up going home. Mad at myself even more. Like, and I'm putting so much pressure on myself, but like, people don't know because like, I'm out. So it's like, I'm not even enjoying myself
while
out
I'm there,
because I'm mad at
Yeah.
myself. So when I got back on Sunday, I'm like, I don't care how tired I am. I'm waking up at 8 a.m. I'm going to the gym and I'm starting my day. You decided to go out last night. You're not penalizing your whole fucking day. So like, my whole day was like, I had to film for my new YouTube thing. And I was just like, if you do fuck up, like, just make up for it.
Yeah,
So
that's really good though.
it's like, really, it helps that I have a friend like you too, who's like on that same bandwagon. But I will say, like, a lot of people say, like, it's like, who you surround yourself with is who you're gonna be, and it's
100%.
true. And then from that, like, doing that, like, I changed my diet. So you don't always have to do everything at once. Sometimes it's like a domino effect. Like, you fix one thing, but you're not going out so much, so like, your diet is gonna slowly improve because you can.
You're not eating McD's
You're not
at 3
eating
a.m.,
that because
fuck.
you're home. So what happened was, I was like, I'm gonna stop going out. I'm gonna start the gym slowly, because I was like, I'm not really in the mood to start training 5 times a week, but it's like slowly. So like, I started not going out. And I even was like booking gyms like at 10 o'clock in the morning, so that it's like, you can't go out. Like, I did what I had to do in order to get myself to like the level of like, no,
Yeah.
you know, because sometimes it's like, you
Like
don't have the
willpower.
willpower. You
Yeah.
have to like just fucking like
Force
jam
yourself.
pack your day, force yourself, and just change shit around. So
And that's actually a really good thing I will say is when you're trying to get into the gym, having classes and booking classes in advance always really helped me be consistent because
Yeah.
I wasn't able to skip the class.
Yeah.
You know, like you're scheduling it. It's like you already paid for it. You have to go.
and then like, you're up, you worked out, so you're already like, your day is starting. You're not gonna go back to bed now. So it's like,
Exactly.
do whatever you need to do in order to like fit your like world.
But it's so true. If you're somebody who's looking to like reprioritize your life, it's little baby steps, and the
like, I
changes you're
didn't
gonna
do all
make-
these things at once. It's
Yeah.
like, I stopped going out, and then like a week later, I was like, I really like want to be more in shape. So I was doing more of the gym, and then I changed my diet slowly. Like, and I actually get what people mean by like, it's baby steps, you know?
Yeah.
So now I
Everything
want to start
drastic doesn't
meditation. So I'm like, who am I? Like, what's going on in my life? But I
mean,
never
it's-
really understood meditating too. And then when I was like talking to someone about it, they were telling me how like, because I have ADHD, where like I lose focus really often. And I feel like for someone like me who has that issue, I don't want to just go and take Adderall. I want to see if I can like kind of fix it naturally first.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were saying that like meditating would be really something that'd be good for me, because like when you're meditating, your mind wanders a lot, and it's kind of like when you're having, like me, when I have ADHD, it's like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
thinking of something, I have to do something, and then I'm like doing something else. So when you're having that bubble of like thought that just like escapes, you're kind of able to like refocus quicker and quicker when you meditate, because you're realizing that you're going off.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
and there's nothing else happening. You're like just focusing on thinking,
Yeah.
essentially.
yeah. So
100%. Somebody told me that I should start meditating the other day because I was telling them, like, I was kind of like explaining something that I was really anxious about, and they were like, you need to like meditate, like you have
Yeah.
severe anxiety. And I was like, oh my God.
I don't even have severe anxiety.
Well, no, it helps for
it's
many
it's
things.
more, it's just for that.
Yeah. No, but that's amazing. And I think so many people would benefit from like making little changes. And that's really what it is. I think when people are not happy with their life, they automatically go, okay, diet starts tomorrow, 3 times gym, no
I'm
going
not
out.
going out
Yeah,
anymore.
you
And it's
can't.
like, I really did it gradually this time and I feel the difference. Like,
Yeah.
I see it now, you know? And
I
it's
feel like
even with
you're-
my work too, it's like, never in my life in the past would you ever ask me, like, can I work Saturday or Sunday? I'd be like, no. Like, those are days for myself. But now I'm like, I don't even care if I'm off on a Tuesday and like you schedule me on a Saturday. That's so much growth for me because I'm like, no, my Saturdays is for my friends. It's my Saturdays is for me. And now it's like, well, it doesn't really matter because I'll get my shit done on Tuesday. Like, I'm not going out anymore. Like, I'm trying to refocus. So, yeah.
I mean, I think everybody has their own path.
Yeah.
And if anybody's listening and they're like, oh, well, like, I can never be that, whatever, like, at one point you might get there. Maybe you will never get there. But I will say it's so important to realize how your priorities affect your life. And I have no problem, guys. I used to party 3 nights a week, 4 nights a week. I had that stage. I did it. And like people always say, oh, it's a stage. Like it actually is a stage.
But it's still something you're being tested with too, right?
But it's also like a thing in your life that I would not take back. Like I loved every minute of it. I really enjoyed it. And it brought me to where I am now, where I have the peace of mind to know I'm not fucking missing anything. And that's the biggest thing that you need to realize when you're making all these differences is like, saying no, especially to going out, I got
But
over
it's
my
so
FOMO.
powerful.
But you just once you skip out on one thing, one vacation, one night, one whatever it is, you're like, wait, I didn't really miss anything. Like, yeah, maybe there'll be one time everybody had a crazy night, but by that point, you won't even fucking care. And that's how I am. I'm like,
It's so
you know
true.
what? I realized over time, being as busy as I am, I don't have time anymore to do things like that. And when I do them because I feel guilty and I'm like, oh, like I should go, whatever. And when I do them, it fucks up everything that I have to do. And I end up being so anxious because I'm like, now I have no time to do what I want to do. And I didn't even have enough fun for it to be justifiable.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
100%.
I took the sacrifice and it's not even paying off because I didn't even have fun. So I'm like, what the fuck? And I think it's really important to realize that. And it's also really important to realize how many things it affects. You know, when you're going out, it's everything that's surrounding you. You're spending money. You're staying out late. You're getting home at 3 a.m. You're probably eating at 4 a.m. You're staying in bed till 1 a.m. And then by the time you wake up, you're not 100% because you drank last night. And then the day after that, you're also like all these effects that we don't talk about. We're partiers, whatever. We're young. We don't talk about how it makes you feel. But when you really think back and you look, it's like, okay, I got wasted on Saturday night and I was only 100% by Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because I fucked up my sleep schedule on Sunday and then Monday night I was catching up and then finally Tuesday morning I woke up and I was good again.
Literally.
But people don't realize that.
Literally.
And as much as I think it's important to have a balance and to have fun and do what you want, I do believe that you'll never fully like get where you want to be if you're not prioritizing and if you're not saying no to things. And if you're just saying, yeah, let's go out, yeah, let's do this, yeah, let's do that. It's like, how do you want to move forward?
Yeah.
Especially like you're saying, in the same city that I've seen the same 6 fucking people.
Literally.
And I've had the same sashimi
I'm like, you know what?
4 times.
Literally, and I'm like, you know what? I want to be out of this city so badly, but maybe let's look at the bright side of this. Maybe being in this city is exactly what I need right now. Because if I was in another city, I probably, let's switch things. Let's switch names. Because if I was,
Maybe you don't need Miami.
but
Pass it
you know
over
what I
here.
mean? Maybe there's a reason for everything in life, and it's for me to restructure and for me to not feel like I have FOMO and really focus on my goals
It's
in a
so
city
true.
where I've seen everything and I'm okay being locked up in my
100%. Because if you would be living in Miami, there's no fucking way that you would be skipping out.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like when I'm in LA, when I'm there for work, it's like, yeah, I want to be working. I want to be doing what I need to do. But then I'm also like, oh, I'm in LA. Like,
Yeah.
I should probably go out. I should
that's
probably
the
try to meet
problem. It's like
people.
I should probably. It's all these little things that you're like, oh, I should probably go because what if this and this and this and happens? But like, you know what I learned? No matter who you meet, no matter what, like where you are in life, you're not getting there unless you do it yourself. So people can help you. They can sell you the dream. But at the end of the day, if you're not gonna sacrifice, if you're not gonna stay, and if you're not gonna focus, nothing's coming your way.
Yeah.
It's just not.
I will say that it is really important too to go out and to have fun, because I think I can never be here now in this stage now if I didn't do that, if I didn't get to the point where I was like, okay, I've seen what I need to see. And I would never want to be the person who stopped myself and then am miserable because I never had my fun years. Like, thankfully enough, it's just I was able to have that like cut off and was able to realize, okay, this is not benefiting me anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. It's not about not going out. It's about realizing when your time has expired in that area, and realizing to have
That's
like the
me.
strength to be like, okay, I've gotten what I needed to get from this part of my life. Like, I'm ready to move on and I'm ready to do something different.
Yeah.
now.
Like I watch videos and I'm like, I have not one FOMO about all these things that are happening. Like, I can't even tell you, like, no FOMO.
No FOMO.
And the thing is like when I was out with my friends on Saturday and then I ended up at the place I did not want to end up at, I was so mad. And I was looking at everyone and I wasn't looking down on everyone. I was just like, my time here is expired.
Yeah.
Like, what am I gaining from this?
It's so true.
These are all people who are still in the same circle. Like
Yeah.
they're still like going through the same thing, and it's not a bad thing. It's like I look at my friends and everyone has their kind of like time in life where
yeah.
they do that. Like when I was going through that, I was hanging around with people who wanted to be out. Like were they my best friends? No. But were they benefiting me in the time where I wanted to be out and I needed to do that? Yes. But like, it's funny to see that everyone goes through that kind of stage in their life. And that's why, like, when I see one of my friends going through it now, it's like, they'll go through it and then they'll grow out of it. Like, it's
Exactly.
just, you don't need to be there and tell someone like, oh, I feel like you're going out a little too much. Or like, people go
Yeah.
through the shit they need to go through. And then
100%.
they'll realize.
Everybody has their path. And something I will say, just kind of to bounce off of this, what I realized while I was in LA, and I've been realizing over time, but I was just so happy to be at a place where when somebody was asking me what I was doing, there's multiple things that I could answer, right? Like I was whatever, I was video directing or I have a podcast or whatever it may be. It was so exciting to be at a point where when somebody asked me that question and I could respond to them and have like something exciting to say, and they were like captivated by what I was saying and were like, oh, I want to learn more about this project. Oh, you have a podcast. Show me. What is it? What do you guys talk about? And I was so happy. Like I was never more happy to have a project that I work on and that's mine. Like, yeah. I love my job and that's another thing. But even just like to focus it on having a personal project and why it's so important, it's so exciting to have something to be excited and proud of.
Yes.
And you don't even realize how much it changes by the way people speak to you, because when you have something to show, people are automatically way more intrigued by you, way more excited to see what you have to offer, whether it's a small business or, you know what I mean, like a podcast, or you have a YouTube channel or whatever it may be. People are so interested in that. And it just felt really good to have something that I was proud of and to have a job that I was proud of and to be doing things that I'm proud of and feel like I created for myself. And it was just a really exciting time to have that ability to be like, oh yeah, I do this, or like I have a podcast, and people be like, oh my God, I want to see. Oh my God, it's so refreshing to see somebody that, and this has, first of all, no shade to anybody who's an Instagram influencer, but a lot of people in LA are there because they're Instagram influencers. So a lot of people would talk to me and be like, oh, what do you do? And I would say, and they were like, oh, I for sure thought you were just an Instagram influencer. Like, I'm so refreshed to hear that you're not, which I have, like I said, I'm just going to reiterate.
Yeah.
I think it's a real job. I think it's sick, whatever.
And it's a lot of work too. Yeah.
But I was just like, it was just interesting the way people were like so intrigued by you having your own personal project. And it just felt really good. It felt like a payoff. Like, wow, this is why I do this every week. This is why we put so much work into it. Like, even just that feeling of like, yeah, this is mine. Like, I'm so proud of it. Like, it's so exciting.
Same.
To have a
I
project.
literally have the same like feeling about it. I'm so excited when people like want to know questions or
100%.
like, I'm like, wow, it's crazy that now people ask us about it. But like 2 years ago, we didn't know where the hell we were going. Like,
and it's also like why I always push people to do whatever they want to do, and like why you should always follow your dreams, even if they're not gonna make you a millionaire, even if they're not gonna be your full-time job. Having something that you put your energy towards changes how people look at you, and it changes how you look at yourself.
Yes.
It's so good to put effort outside of your 9 to 5, outside of your job, whatever it is, to put effort on something and to create something, like it changes your essence. It changes the way people see you. It changes the way you have conversations with people because you have
Also,
value.
it changes how you go about your everyday. Like you feel like you're a value of something, and it's just the best feeling. And I will say also, what's great about podcasting is that I feel like people kind of get to know your personality more than a picture. So like that's also fun. And I feel like of being single and having this podcast, I was always like, oh my God, like cringe, a guy I'm gonna talk to is gonna listen to it. But I realized that more people are actually more drawn to you, and like it shouldn't be something we're ever embarrassed about,
100%.
because I feel like I've never got more attraction to my page and more people like, wow, I thought you were a bitch, like you guys are so funny, like all these things really make it like, okay,
Yeah.
like let's keep going, let's not give up.
100%. And what I will say, like just thinking about this is, you know, I have so many friends and people around me who have these big dreams, and I know they're super talented, and you know, they want to blow up, they want to be whatever they want to be. And I'm always like, well, you need to do something for yourself, because nobody's just going to talk to you and be like, oh yeah, let's make you famous, or let's make you this, or let's make you rich. I'm like, what are you
those
doing?
conversations in a room could happen when you already started something.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, and I totally believe in all these people, but I'm like, until you don't have something to show for yourself, nobody is ever going to look at you and be like, yeah, like it's so fucking rare that somebody would look at you and see the potential if there's not already something that you're putting your passion into. And whatever you want to be a YouTuber, you want to be an actor,
there was a guy in LA who has all the resources to start a podcast and is still thinking about it and going back and forth. And it's like, I would die to have the engagement you have and to be where you are, but it just really doesn't mean anything. Like it has to come from you. You just have 100%. To start.
And it's just, if you want something, you need to do the starting point. Even if you feel like, oh, but I'm small, but I'm not going to get views, or I'm not good enough, or whatever it is, you need to start, because people always say, oh, connections are everything. And I truly believe that. I think networking is everything. Connections are everything. But who wants to be connected with you, and who's going to help you if you don't at least have a base?
Yes.
And that's what I've seen with so many friends. They've had these amazing connections that couldn't help them out in any fucking way because they had no starting point.
They had no portfolio.
They had nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's 100%. And it's like, you need to have something that somebody could help you with.
Yeah.
If you want to grow, if you want to be whatever it is, you need to start. You want to be a famous nail tech? Ooh, show me your nails.
Yeah.
Show me, what have you done? How can I help you? How can somebody help you if you haven't even took the
initiative
jump,
to start?
Right, to start it yourself?
I think even just the initiative to start is enough for someone to be like, and you started and you haven't given up. Okay, so you're serious about this.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look into it. And I feel like really with this podcast lately, there's been so many incidents that always make us feel like we're literally like we're about to get there, and then it's like it doesn't happen, and then we're like, we get like a bit sad about it, and then we're like, okay, you know what? It just means something bigger is coming. Like that's always how we look at it. So I was talking to this soccer player, and we never said this story. I think we should finally say it. I was talking to the soccer player, and we didn't mention names or whatever. And then what happened was, I guess somebody went through my Instagram, found the guy it was, and then wrote it in the YouTube chat. And then that soccer player's manager had like a Google alert, like a Google alert search. So whenever you write that name, they're gonna get a notification and like a pop-up. And when I saw that, I called Veronica and I'm like, I'm freaking out. Like, I don't want this. Like, I don't know if I just want to leave this on YouTube. So I contemplated. I'm like, you know what? We always wanted these fans. This is what happens when you have a podcast. You're always gonna have them. But like, should I delete it or should I keep it? So I just kept going back and forth. I should delete it. Like, I don't think I should keep this here. Like, it's embarrassing, you know? And then I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to leave it there. Lo and behold, the soccer player calls me and he's like, and I haven't even had a chance to tell him, like, I even mentioned him or anything. I wasn't even going to.
Yeah.
He's like, call me right now. And I was like, busy. And anyway, finally we get on the call and he's like, you're going to freak out. And I'm like, why? He's like, so, somebody like wrote my name on the YouTube chat and got my manager searching your podcast, and my manager watched your whole entire podcast and was like fucking dying hysterically and was like, blank, whatever his name, you need to listen, like you're in this episode. And he was like, I never actually listened to an episode of yours. You guys are actually fucking hilarious, and everything you said is exactly like what happened. Like you really say stories how they happen. I'm like, yeah, we don't lie. He's like, I don't know why I thought like you just made up shit for views and stuff. I'm like, no. And then after that, the manager, so he had met somebody, how do I even explain it? He had met somebody who happened to like want to do business with him now that he's like not doing soccer anymore. And that person he had met, the manager had introduced him to. So just so many things had to happen for it to get even here.
Yeah.
And this person was actually the person who got the Kardashians from Hayu to Hulu.
Right.
So they're like really big in the industry. And the manager liked our fucking episode because some random fan wrote his name and it got to him. Like, how many things have to happen for that? And then for the manager to like us so much and send it to the girl who switched them off. Who switched
like
the Kardashians.
agent. She was like some
Like,
reality show agent.
And then I was like, oh my God, like, even just if nothing happens from this, like, how many things had to happen for it to even get there?
just so crazy.
So crazy.
It's just fucking crazy. And the reality is, like, that would have never happened if we would have never started this. And like for everybody watching that wants to do something, you know? And it took us 2 years to get to even that little crumb.
That little crumb.
The little Pauline of like, maybe.
Like, she probably looked at it and said no,
But still, we were there. We were on the screen.
She knows who we are, I guess.
You know? And it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know. I just
What's
like...
this episode called? Dreams Coming True? Like, I don't know.
Well, dreams getting knocked down.
Not going to the club and dreams coming true.
Well, I guess air out your life and shit will work your way. Like... Oh my God. It's just funny because I was going to delete that message. If I would have deleted it, they would have never seen it. 100%. So
it's fucking
I
weird.
wonder why my brain didn't make me delete it. Because in any circumstance, I would have deleted that because I'm like, I don't want people knowing. That's embarrassing. Like, no. And I was just like, for some reason, my mind was like, just keep it.
Well, I tell you what, I have been deleting, and it's every person that's been tagging Kendall Jenner in our recently viral TikTok. Because you know what? The soccer player, okay, we could keep his name there, but Kendall, I don't want her to see that video. Kendall, I love you.
Can
I'm
I
sorry.
be completely honest with you? I can guarantee you
100%.
my life, either she's seen it or someone in her circle has sent it to her, and that's a fact. She has seen that TikTok. It has over 1 million views.
Less than 1 million views, but close.
But like,
and she saw it. And that's what I have to live with, is Kendall fucking hates me. So
now Kylie hates you, Kendall hates you. What's next?
I punched Kylie. Kendall hates me. I'm over this shit. But I'm a porn director.
Guys, give it up for Veronica, the porn editor. Next week, we will have her and her boyfriend on set, video style, audio style. For a nice change, we're gonna change it up.
Switch it up.
Last thing I want to say is it's summer. We want to make a lot of fun episodes. We're thinking of having like a lot more guests than we normally do. So if you don't hear us talking every week and we like kind of throw in a few this summer, let us know what you like. I know a lot of people have said they would love an influencer to come on, talk a little bit about that. A guy was like, come on.
You're an influencer, no? Didn't Barstool post you?
A lot of like guys were saying, come on, like have like a business kind of episode, businessmen. I'm like, okay, but businessmen could be also a woman. So we'll maybe do like a business episode. I don't know. Yeah. You like that?
Yeah, I like that.
Good. Anyway, so just some really fun content coming
100%. And if you guys want to hear anything or have any more questions about how it's like to be a porn director, let me know. You're like, I want to see you on set. Actually, I got so many DMs saying you're into porn now. Somebody wrote like, oh, porn acting next. I was like, okay, here we go. Maybe.
You never know.
You never know.
I watched already your first tape. So
like I said, manifesting goes a weird way.
Yeah.
Usually
Next
people
year
go
gonna be
from
like,
porn
so I
star
didn't
to porn
realize
director.
that what I actually wanted to do it just led me to this point to be behind the camera. And then one day a cast didn't show up and they were looking for someone. And then
lo and behold, here I was.
Lo and behold.
Out. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. Hope that you enjoyed it. Hope you got some insights, some motivation. And that's pretty much it. You could have got from this one, to be honest.
Pretty much it, guys. Don't look for me in Montreal because I'm out. Except for Grand Prix. I actually made like a whole pack that I was like, Grand Prix weekend.
You're allowed.
There's no one in Montreal. Like a lot of people are from out of town, so I'll be there.
It's like being on vacation.
Yeah, and by the way, I forgot to mention Steve Aoki DM'd me. So should I say that for another episode? Yeah, okay.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Love you.